Okay, fine. This is our Nintendo Switch top 20 couch co-op and PvP games in 2022. We've been playing games with our kids for the last 3 years about, picking up cheap Steam sales and stuff, and I thought we'd run down this list with you. Now, for anybody who's got like a really short attention span, don't leave. I'll give you the 20 right now, okay? These are the 20. 10-second run returns, Flat Heroes, Heave Ho, Muddledash, Drink More Glurp, Overcooked 2, Party Treats, Worms W.M.D, Killer Queen Black, Crawl, Stick Fight the Game, Boomerang FU, Streets of Rogue, Rayman Legends, Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, Neurovoider, Death Road to Canada, Sundered, and 9 Parchments. Those are the 20, and we're going to talk very quickly about those, what we think about.
You missed one.
What did I miss?
Rogue Heroes.
Shit. Okay. Back to the beginning. This is why you're here. Always need an assistant. This is my wife, Karen.
And is this from best to worst or worst to best, or?
There is an order, but I'll talk about it while we're going through it. So again, we're talking Nintendo Switch. Now, we don't have a Nintendo Switch OLED. Not that it fucking matters, but we generally play on the TV with the kids. 4 controllers, 6 controllers, 12 controllers. How many? I don't know how many controllers, but we have a lot.
So many controllers.
So many controllers. We've got stick drift, buttons messed up. We got wireless issues. Like screw you, Nintendo, for that part. But the rest has been fun, and we've had lots and lots of fun with this. I've been scrolling through like the Nintendo store through reviews for years, trying to figure out like what would be the best things to play. And some of them like turned out to be good, and some of them just not really well. So this is like the cream of the crop. This is the best stuff that we had fun with. So if you got kids, I mean, we started with kids aged like 3 and 5 back then. They're now like 8 and 6, but yeah, you can start, you know, from actually really young, playing a lot of these games. Now, just caveat, we do play stuff that has some violence in it with our kids. That's just what we've chosen to do. So if you're not up for that, I'll give you some caveats as we go through the games. All right, with that, we're going to go through. Karen doesn't know what 20 I've picked, so well, she does now because I just fucking summarized them. But aside from that, we haven't, like, you know, there's no script or whatever. I'm going to give you my little, like, one-line review on each of these as we go through, and then natural reactions, and then that's it.
Yep, and if you hate him, it's his fault.
Okay, well, first off, I wanted just to say about Nintendo Switch that early on, we got that for you for your birthday or Christmas? Birthday? Christmas?
One of those two. I don't
remember. One of the two. It's hers anyway.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I thought Nintendo Switch was going to be like a multifunction printer, i.e. not good at anything, but it actually turns out to be an amazing system.
Awesome.
Absolutely so cool. You can play it in bed. Kid can roam with it like a Game Boy. I mean, I'm absolutely smitten with it. I do have my eye, of course, on the Steam Deck, which is you can bring your computer games with you on the go, which looks great. We pre-booked it for the like expensive one, and it just got the order, and I'm like, I don't have the money now, feck it, I don't have the money, we're not gonna do it. So this is about Switch. Okay, so maybe that's for another video in 3 years time, we'll see. The other thing was most of you know me for my VR content, which is like the last 8 years and why I've got a list of Oculus boxes sitting behind me. But this is all about Switch. All right, here we go. So first off, there are 4 categories I've put these games into. First one is puzzlers. There's 3 puzzlers that I wanted to talk about. First one was 10-second run returns, which is like, it's like a Japanese language kind of game. You got a bunch of stick figures, and this is probably a good idea that I actually run the fucking videos that I queued up. There we go. Boom. Lots of slick stuff here. This is Blistering Fast Side Runner, which is what I called Death Dodge Foot Race. So it's a 4-way split screen. When you're playing multiplayer, it is not friendly, and you die very quickly, but it's just 10-second matches, and you just try to go from start to finish, and you do that with you know, kids or whatever, and bang, works. So that's it. 10-second run returns. So as I said, is that actually Japanese or is that Chinese?
Well, they're Chinese characters, but Japanese and Chinese both.
Damn.
Use
okay,
them.
so we don't know.
Yeah.
we need Asian friends to kind of decipher this.
I need to actually have a sentence written to tell you.
Did you play this with us? I don't remember.
I recognize the look of the title, but I don't think I played it.
Okay, next one. So this is one we just discovered. It's called Flat Heroes. Again, this is another kind of puzzler game where you're working together to really beat these like puzzles where you can't touch the floor, can't touch the side. little spermies kind of run at you and blow your character up. It doesn't explain itself. You just have to figure it out in multiplayer, and I've personally found this to be lots of fun. So
yeah, it's one of those bang your head against the wall
until you make it through. Exactly. It's definitely, so that's Flat Heroes, and you get to unlock skins, which are literally just colors for your character as you play. It's like you feel good when you achieve not going insane. All right, next one, Heave Ho. Heave Ho, got to know about this on a trip out to California with some developers. It is just so much fun. It's a crazy like physics game in that the controls are quite difficult at first, but once mastered, gives you really good like accomplishment vibes, which is kind of similar to the previous title. You have to work together. You're throwing guys around. You unlock awesome little like characters and stuff in this, and there's plenty of scope for like messing around.
Yeah, see this one I love the game. I love the controls once you get the hang of it. You have to be careful with how young kids you play with it. Because when you get these young kids who just want to mess around and die over and over again, it can be very frustrating.
Yeah, I've got a lot of kid patience for some reason, but I've sat there for 40 minutes while kids just just kill themselves
splat,
repeatedly,
splat.
splat, and just laughing at that and splat and more splat. And thankfully, the game throws you like a rope when you have died after, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. Yeah. And so you can kind of cheat your way to the end of the level. And so that's nice. Great game design. But of the three puzzlers, that's my favorite. Heave Ho out of the three. So if you're going to pick up one of the puzzlers, that would be the one. So these are in order basically from I ranked them based on fun. Right, so the first one I mentioned is kind of the least overall net fun, and the last one is the best in that category. Yeah, all right, okay. On to the next one, Race Co-op. So Race Co-op, these are games that, you're racing together to an end state, and bam, there you go. First one's Muddledash. This one's your slippery, slopery, like octopi. And there's a gift and a party, and first one there wins. That's really it. You just start to finish, and you just like skid your way through the level. It is super, super simple. There's not much to this. You can kind of gazump your friends and stuff, but
it's silly and goofy and mess around with the kids. The only thing I didn't like about it, though, is that there's like, you soon realize that you, really the only thing that matters is at the end of the race. Whoever has it at the end of the race. So you can mess about the whole race and get teleported along and then take it and then win. So I kind of, But other than that, it's a good kind of mess around.
That's Muddledash. Yeah, again, a lot of these games are like $3 to $12, so you can pick them up on sales. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend.
Though.
Add them to your wish list. Wait for the sale. Wait for it to go cheap. Then pick it up. That's what I'd recommend. You can do this with a whole set of 20 if you don't have any of these and you just picked up a Switch. Next one up. This one's fucking weird. Drink More Glurp. Drink More Glurp. It's a multiplayer focused game. You can actually have, I think, 20 players in this. Super weird physics. Super weird physics, like really janky controls, but it's cute, it's bonkers, it's dual stick, it's a great party game, kind of akin to Heave Ho, but like the Olympics, like crazy stick physics Olympics.
Yeah, it's got like a good sense of humor, and they do some kind of interesting stuff with it. Like, it is a lot of fighting the controls.
Yeah, it's primary. Like, you really do. I think for an adult audience, this would be better. With kids, they tend to get frustrated with the controls. I mean, adults too, but they kind of tend to push through it. And the modifiers that come in, like anti-gravity or your fish or crabs or whatever they are quite fun. So that's that one. I think it's really well done and probably not well known. Next up, this is the classic. This is the one that everyone expects to be on the list. Which is, of course, Overcooked. And then specifically Overcooked 2, which is a revision and the return to the Onion Kingdom. For me, relationship-breaking fun, right? But the controls are a bit confusing for kids, I would say. So, like, certain things, like conveyor belts, when you got to load, your steak on the conveyor belt and it goes around, or pick up a fire extinguisher and use that, sometimes those kind of catch kids out. Still fun. But you have to be a little patient if you're going with, young kids. I think for, anyone who was like 8 and up, this would be perfect.
Oh, I love Overcooked. It's an awesome game, and I see that and I want to go play it.
Yeah.
Like, you do end up fighting a lot over it, but like the satisfaction of beating it feels really good.
Yeah. And we're still married, so hey.
Yeah.
Barely. Right. So on to the next one. This one was like $1. Party treats. I got this. This is it looks such a simple game, and we have gotten hours and hours and hours of fun out of this thing. In short, it's a zany, fast-paced, race to the finish game. Simple, but great if you can pick it up for cheap. The best thing is like doing laps, and you're basically dropping like weapons on the other players to stop them from getting around the track, and that is the best game mode.
It's kind of got a Mario Kart sort of feel that way, right? But no, it's an awesome. It's so simple but so much fun, and we've played it with loads of different audiences and still had a great time.
Exactly, and the party treats. So you probably won't have heard of that one, but that one's super fun. All right, next category. So we're on to the fighters. So this is PvP stuff that generally is people against other people. And the first one, and again, a classic, Worms, right? Worms W.M.D. being... I've played like loads of the Worms titles, and this is my favorite. It's definitely the best Worms title I've played yet. You've got crafting weapons, so you can actually pick up some good stuff and actually kind of like play around with that. This is Team 17. They've played a couple of different, or they've made a couple of different games on this list. Really enjoy it. The vehicles are particularly fun, being able to jump off in a drone or that type of thing. The OMG strikes, all that kind of stuff. So if you're into this, you can customize your team, customize the weapons, and actually play multiplayer. I like being able to have a custom team. That's fun with the kids.
Yeah, always a well-polished game, Worms. You just have to get hold of the controls.
Except for our son Denver and the concrete donkey. He doesn't want to play with anything but that. It just ruins the whole game. But like the scenery and all that has been really well worked out. I love that you can enter buildings and stuff in this version of Worms, which you couldn't in previous versions, or at least versions that I'd played that were recent. So that's Worms W.M.D. All right, the next one. Actually I've got a bit of a short story about, but this is Killer Queen Black. This is designed for like 6 players, generally a 3v3 or a 5v5. It's crazy. You get to play these different roles, and there are 3 separate win conditions to this game. I played it first in California on a trip out with an Oculus, where I met my fellow like podcast host Mike. This arcade cabinet, like 5v5. You have the snail part where you like creep the snail across the screen, that you can kill the enemy's queen. Killer Queen Black. You got to check this out. It's really cool, and I think it would be best suited for an adult audience if you didn't want to just mess around. But if you're messing around with some computers, it's fun with kids too. You know. I don't think you've played that one a lot. I think that
I've done a little bit.
A few.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Smash Brothers, except with like that twist of the different win conditions.
Yeah, exactly. I would agree. It's like that. And I think it's also better for a slightly older audience, that one. Okay. So that's Crawl. Okay, the next one is a recent favorite of ours. Sorry. This one, Crawl, is one that we ran across, and I think it is just so dastardly. It's amazing. If you're a fan of Carrion, and again, for young kids, maybe not this one. If you're not into violence, this one's got loads of blood and sacrificial stuff. So this is not really for those who don't like that type of thing being exposed to their kids. But if you're a fan of like the game Carrion, this is a 3 versus 1 couch co-op. Really special. Awesome game mechanics. Tons of unlockables. We've played, I would guess, 50 hours, maybe 80 hours of this game. Still haven't unlocked everything. But you upgrade your characters. You get the feeling of it's great to be the bad guy. It's also great to be the good guy. And that kind of flip-flop gameplay is just fantastic. It feels good to win or lose, honestly.
Yeah, and it's not 1 versus 3 the entire, like,
Wait.
you know, it's not you're always the one. It's you're constantly swapping who's the one, like, throughout the whole thing as you kind of take over that role.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, it's
because
really
there are
well
other
done.
games that have done that model, and it always feels a little bit like, well, I want to be the monster.
Yeah.
You know? But in this one...
It's constantly you're fighting for the hero position.
Yeah, and then you lose your soul inevitably, and then you keep cycling through.
No, it's really well done. I absolutely love Crawl.
Very good. I never thought about it before, but really the balance in that is just really well executed. Okay, so that's Crawl. Next up, this has been a fan favorite of my daughter's. She's really violent. But this one is definitely not one if you're not into violent stuff. The best thing I can say about this game is Stick Fight is straight, fluid combat, mad fun, and makes for a fantastic party game or family game. You get all kinds of different weapons, my favorite being the snake launcher. You can launch hungry snakes at people that then devour the enemies. It is so much fun. Again, there's kind of zany physics in this, so you can, shoot a tether and the whole level drops out below someone. Just fantastic. Great on Switch. So that one's loads of fun. This next one is, I think, one of Karen's favorites. Definitely has been a huge hit with the family, and this is why it takes the #1 position for the fight PvP spot. This is Boomerang FU. Very colorful, loads of like power-up characters. You basically fight as food items. It's dastardly, it's cute, it's a stylish co-op battler, and there are amazing game mods, though we generally tend to play like 2v2 or free-for-all. But you just, the physics of how you throw your little boomerang. What's that?
Did you mean game modes?
What did I say?
Game mods.
Oh, modes.
I was really confused.
Yeah. Game modes. But no, it's great. From being able to burn the bushes and trees and stuff to squashing, you know, your spouse, or just slicing your kid
of great mechanics
in half with a slicey boomerang. It's great. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
That one's like shout out hilarious fun for the whole family, I think. Okay, now we're on to my favorite family category. Okay, this is the last one. There's 8 of these. Absolutely love this stuff. And this is RPG co-ops. So ones that you're playing towards an objective together. First one is Streets of Rogue. Only reason this takes the bottom slot is because it requires full controller. You can't use just one of the half controllers to control your character. You need the full dual stick. And that's a little unfortunate because then you need to have a gazillion controllers to be able to, you know, eight halves to be able to make the whole family be able to play, and inevitably things just aren't charged or whatever. So, but other than that, loads of different character classes. You go on different missions. You get to blow open holes and stuff like that. It's always kind of different. It's I think they're procedurally generated levels. Just loads of fun.
I don't think I've played that one.
We haven't. Yeah, you haven't. But we haven't had much chance to play it because, again, the controller limitation is a real problem. Normally, we only get a chance to play, 3-player when we want to be playing 4. That's Streets of Rogue. The next one is an older classic called Rayman Legends. This is the definitive edition. There have been several editions of this. The music levels in this are so much fun playing with even the soccer one. We played the soccer mode like 4 or 5 times. That's just like a side mod. It's so ridiculous. But Rayman is fantastic. Beautifully animated.
Game mode.
I said it again. Damn it. All right. Anyway, solid visual novel style game, and it delivers fun in a co-op side scroller. You always feel like just on the brink. You never feel really out of control. Like, you do tend to lose a fair bit in that game, but you do get better at it with time.
The Raymans are really friendly to kids too, because you don't really die. You just go to bubble form and
then pop. Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. So this is one for people who are kind of anti-violence. The worst you're doing is bopping characters.
Well, and if you have kids who are frustrated about getting out of the gameplay, like.
Exactly. Now, when I got into Switch, this game is the first thing that really I just fell in love with, using that word specifically. This is Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. I didn't know about this. It is so freaking adorable.
It's such a neat concept.
It's
like,
so
I've
great.
never seen anything like it before.
It's strange, right? Yeah, but it's like...
Because you have to, like, joint... run the ship, so like one of you's controlling where you're going, another one's doing shields, another one's doing this gun, and the other one's doing that gun, and like it's really good coordination, like cooperation effort among everyone.
It really gets the whole family going, and even if you have someone who's like dead on a turret, the levels aren't so hard as that. Like, you can have a dead player and still make it through levels, and that's the thing that's really important. We have a large age range. Like, we had a 3-year-old, piloting one of the turrets, and then someone was driving, and it's good for them too. It's like hand-eye coordination. They're able to learn that kind of stuff. But I think it would be fun with an older audience, a younger audience. It's just really a nice game.
Yeah.
And the weapons are super fun, and the combinations of the different weapons, the gems, those are so neat. When you find certain combinations, even when you've been playing for like 20 hours,
you're
like,
stuff is like,
you come across, it feels like I don't know, it's like opening a booster pack or something. It's just such a magical feeling of like discovery. Love it. So that is Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. Next up, if you're really up for character building, Neurovoider. You start off, this is really like punk, techno-punk, procedural levels, right? It's rogue light, and you build your characters rogue-like, yeah, whatever it is. But you build this little bot, and there's 3 different classes, like heavyweight, medium, and light classes, and you support each other. And even if you die, you get to hop around as a cute little spongy brain. But it's a robot killing dungeon party super upgrades, and
Yeah,
you really
it
get to feel
feels-
good about your character.
Every time you get the upgrades, it feels like really good, and the customization of your bot, it feels good too, and
It's got that
yeah.
Diablo-esque feel as well, because you
Yeah,
get to
like-
also pick up.
the character upgrade side of it anyway.
Yeah, and you get to pick up these like little discs and stuff that help you upgrade your parts. And if you don't like them, you can share them with other players. Took me a while to figure that one out. Actually, that you could just give your parts to another player who is a different class or whatever, instead of just selling them for cash. So you can actually share and actually do it like that. So that works really well.
I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, I'll show you the next time.
Yeah.
It was recent that we discovered that that's how that works. So that's Neurovoider. Now, some of you who've been following our story for a little bit know that it took us a couple of years to make it to Canada. And this next one fell in our lap just as we were at the end of our struggle, which is Death Road to Canada. Felt very fitting for us. Also, we love zombie games, big fans of Left 4 Dead and that type of thing. I remember when you bought me Left 4 Dead for Christmas one year, and then oh my God, it changed our lives. We ended up in Spider Gaming and all this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
amazing. But Death Road to Canada, roguelite, couch co-op, local multiplayer, zombie-like, faster than light. Very much like a faster than light style game. Great art and music. Cute animations.
You got to really work together, stick together to not die.
And I love the fact that you can make yourself in the game, and then you'll run across, we ran across our daughter, you run across your son, and it's not like infrequently there's a mode, not a mod, a mode where you can actually come across familiar people who you've customized into the game, and that's fantastic. Really, really like that. But the slow moving zombie hordes, it's a challenge. You will die.
Beat it?
We have not beaten it yet.
Yeah, I
we
don't
still
think
haven't
we
beaten it. We got close. We got close.
It's a good game.
One for us to revisit, I think. Now that we're in Canada, we can celebrate.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up. So this one is probably the heaviest hitting game. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping myself. So Rogue Heroes, another Team 17 game, the people behind Worms, in case you didn't know that. So this is an old school Zelda-style game with great visuals and gameplay. Really feels like a classic Nintendo-style game. I must say the doors are as annoying as all hell, because you go through it and then it pulls your whole party to one screen and you go to the next screen.
I know. You have to work people to go this way.
We had to train our children, Forget algebra, this was more important.
Do they have more than one Rogue Heroes? Because it's Rogue Heroes Ruins of
Tezos? No, that's just the name of it.
Oh,
yeah, as
okay.
far as I know. But there's big boss fights. You really battle through dungeons. There's a good element of puzzling in this. Again, 4-player, lots of gold to collect.
Character upgrades are good.
And the character upgrades meant something. They were actually valuable. There's been some recent updates to that. So there's actually a new boss fight we've got to go and try out with the kids. But that one is super fun. It took us, I'd say...
We actually beat that one.
We beat that. Yeah. Well, yeah, but now they've added more content. So that's how that's gone. Very good. Okay, so that's Rogue Heroes. This next one, this was probably more me and the kids than you with us, which was Sundered.
Oh, Denver loved that one.
Oh, and still, he begs for it every time.
Or whatever. He's just, obsessed with that game.
Our son, the youngest in the population while we've been playing these games. But the animations in this are second to none. There's nothing else on Switch that quite looks like Sundered.
It's beautiful to watch. It's just art. It's moving art.
And the thing is, it's got this eldritch energy vibe to it. So everything feels dark and sunken, and to some extent there's this foreboding evil throughout the game, but your character grows in this powerful way, and you're also able to shape your character, and you learn this as you play the game. It is just fantastic. And the hordes of enemies that pour down on you that you have to deal with, you feel like you're going to get overwhelmed. You just barely scratch it through, and then you're upgrading your characters as you go. And when you finally pull yourself out of the sand at the end of the game or whatever, you feel so accomplished. It's just this is why it's my second to top in the RPG category, because it is just a fantastic co-op game. I think Castlevania fans in particular will love it because of how the weaponry works in the combat. So that one's great. Really enjoy it. Recommend that to anyone. Finally, the one that I would call our family favorite, it certainly is my top, is a game called 9 Parchments. For those who were fans of... Why is this one not running? That's really weird.
Of all the ones.
Why is that not running? That's fucking weird. I see it over there.
Oh.
That's fucking strange.
No.
All right, stand up for a second. I gotta
Okay.
fix this. Sorry, we're gonna fix this in the middle of this. Something has gone a bit odd. I think it's some kind of like anti-sharing. People don't want us to run it. Back it. We'll try here. That's working. That's really strange. Okay, come on, sit down again. All right, so 9 parchments. There you go. You get to see the lady come and go. Gorgeous, stunning visuals, Magicka style,
Yeah.
cross the beams co-op, great bad guys, like things that boss fights you are going to remember until your deathbed, and this kind of feeling of some of the weapons or some of the special abilities, the magic abilities that your characters get, like they harm other players, so you have to learn like what to play with and what not to play with, and the different characters have different bonuses and attributes as well. So
you have to really like balance the different element kind of spells depending on what you're attacking, and it's just there's a lot of technique to beating the bosses and things.
But also the levels are quite nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Like and some of the background is dynamic, and it's just it's gorgeously animated. I remember when I first looked at this game, I judged it and I was like, this is going to be pretty like flat. Like it'll be samey when we go from 1 to 1, but the levels are so dramatically different. It really excited me in the way of like, I'd call it like a colorful Diablo. Like Diablo tends to be quite like dark and evil and stuff like that. This is very buoyant, lighthearted.
The other thing I liked about this game is that you go through and you beat it, but then it unlocks new characters and encourages you to run it through
again. And it is replayable, because we've actually run it through 2 or 3 times
like
or so.
3 times, I think.
Yeah, it's just, and again, it is my favorite. If we were to sit down right now with the kids, I'd be like, 9 Parchments is the game that I'd want to play.
Yeah, we need to go back to that.
We definitely need to do a little bit more of that. We had a 3rd kid, so now, now there's a bit of contention. All right, well, to wrap this up, that's our top 20. If you want to keep up with the list as we grow it still, as I think there are still some more hidden gems out there, then please check out reviews.zimtalk5.com. That's where I do all my reviews. That's both VR reviews and like Nintendo Switch, stuff like this. What did we miss? Tell us if there's anything else that we totally have missed out on. And we'll hopefully see you again for another one of these videos. Thanks for joining me on this one, Karen.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Say something Japanese.
Sayonara.